Hello students, we are still on how to find quadratic equations. Now let's look at this question. If 3 is a root of the equation x squared minus kx plus 42 equals 0, find the value of k and the other roots of the equation. You are told that 3 is one of the root of this quadratic equation, and you know a quadratic equation should have two roots. So you are given one of the roots, then you are given a part of the equation like this. You are told to look for this unknown k. Now to be able to do this, if 3 is one of the root of the equation, so that means one of x is equal to one of x should have two values, which is what it should have two values, but we are given one of the value, which is 3. What you do, you just substitute 3 into this equation. You substitute when x is equal to 3 into this equation. So now when x is equal to 3, in place of x you'll be putting what? 3. So that means we have 3 square minus k times 3 plus 42 is equal to 0. So 3 square is equal to what? 3 square is 9. 3 times 3 9. 3 times k give us 3k minus 3k plus 42 is equal to 0. So if we rearrange, minus 3k plus 9 plus 42 is equal to 0. 9 plus 42 will give you what? That is plus 51. 51 is equal to 0. So if you now bring this plus 51 to this other side, it will turn to what? Minus 51. So you now have minus 3k equals minus 51. So to get the value for k, you are going to divide both sides by minus 3, the coefficient of k. Divide both sides by minus 3. You will divide both sides by minus 3. So when you divide this by minus 3 divided by minus 3 here is 1, remaining k. So you are left with k here. Minus 51 divided by minus 3 will give you a plus 17. Minus divided by minus is plus. 51 divided by 3 is 17. That is 17. So the value for k should be what? 17. So you are going to substitute 17 where we are having k. So the real equation should be x squared minus 17x plus 42. So we've been able to look for the equation. The question says, if 3 is a root of the equation this, find the value of k. We've been able to look for the value for k. So to look for the value for k, you are just going to substitute this k into the equation. When you substitute it into the equation, you are going to substitute x into the equation. When you substitute x into the equation, you are going to get the value for k. Then and the other root of the equation. Normally in a quadratic equation you have two roots. So that means we are now going to use this x squared minus 17x plus 42 is equal to 0. We need to solve the value for x now. So you are going to use factorization method to solve this. So let's try it. So you cross your line. When you cross your line, then what you are having here should be product. What you are having here should be product. In the middle you have the sum. What we multiply together that will give you x squared. That is x times x will give you x squared. So since we know that 3 is one of the roots, let's say we are having 3 here. 3 times what will give us 42. That is 3 times 1, 14 will give us 42. Let's check if it give us what is in the middle. So you're having x times 14 will give us 14x. X times 3 will give us plus 3x. 14x plus 3x will give you 17x. You are having 17x here, but what you are having here is what? Minus 17x. So that means we need to do something to this sign. So let's make this one minus 3 and this one minus 14. So minus 3 times minus 14, minus times minus will give us 42. Minus times minus will give us plus. 3 times 14 will give us 42. So let's check if it give us what is in the middle. X times minus 14 will give us minus 14x. X times minus 3 will give us minus 3x. Minus 14x minus 3x is what? Minus 17x. So you can see that it give us what is in the middle. So you now write the factors this way. So that means you're having the factors are x minus 3 and x minus 14 is equal to 0. So that means if you're having x minus 14 is equal to 0, you now these are the factors. X minus 14, x minus 3 is equal to 0. So if you're having this, you now equate each of them to 0. X minus 14 is equal to 0. So when minus crosses equality sign, it could turn to 14. X minus 3 is equal to 0. When minus crosses equality sign, it will now turn to plus 3. So the fact the roots are x is equal to 14 and 3. Already the question we have been given the value for 3 before. So we are told to look for the other value of the equation. That means for the other root is equal to 14. So the two roots of these equations are what? 14 and plus 3. For the work practice, number 1. So 7 and minus 3 are the roots of the equation x squared plus ks minus 21 is equal to 0. What is the value of k? So we should know what to do here. So substitute any of these roots into this equation. With that, you'll be able to get the value for k. You'll be able to get the value for k. Number 2, if 1 is a root of the equation 5x squared plus ks minus 3 is equal to 0, find the other roots. Number 3, you're having if one of the roots of the equation 4y squared plus ky minus 21 is equal to 0 is minus 3. Find the value of k and hence solve the equation completely. Number 4, if one of the roots of the equation ka squared plus 7a minus 15 is equal to 0 is minus 5. Find the value of k and hence solve the equation completely. Number 5, if one of the roots of the equation kx squared plus 4x minus 4 is equal to 0 is minus 2. Find the value of k and hence solve the equation completely. Please ensure you like, subscribe and comment on this video. Thank you.